Hi folks, this is his dad. Welcome back. And in this episode, we're going to look at some camping type knives. In the last one, I did bushcrafting. These are still bushcrafting knives, but they come in the Kydex molded plastic, so you can web it into your backpack, your molly webbing, or whatever, strap it to your balls. I don't know what you do, but just in case, this is the type of knife we're going to look at today. But spoiler alert, I didn't pay more than $35 for any of them, and I'm not going to show you the ads like I normally do because, as I can, tell, none of these are originals to what they're supposed to be. One kind of might be, but not for the price I paid. And I got all these off of Amazon. So, one day if you look real hard, it says Amazon, but if the next day you squint and kind of turn your head to the side and fisheye it says Temu or AliExpress. And yes, I know it's supposed to be pronounced Temu, but yeah, anyhow, I'm just that guy. So, I'm not going to show you any of those, but I want to tell you what. The reason I did this was because I was on a budget after spending a buttload on 30 knives for the last couple videos I did. So I just really didn't have much. And my nephew, who I've mentioned in one of my videos already, and I were talking about what type of knives we should use for our camping trip that's coming up. And, I said, let's take a look on Amazon, and I kept seeing these knives that looked like other knives I knew, but the price just couldn't be. And so I put together a budget. I formulated it. I wanted 5 knives, and I pulled the trigger, and I did it, and they showed up. And I'll tell you what, mind-boggling. So anyway, let's turn this camera around, take a look, shall we? All right, folks, so this is take 2. I shot this on another tripod, broke that tripod, then found out I didn't hit record to begin with. So let's try this again. These are the 5 knives that we're going to look at today that I found, that I was discussing, that no matter what you tell me, I can't believe they're real. They do feel real, they look real when you touch them, but for the price that I paid, I didn't pay more than $35 for any of these. And in fact, if I remember my budget, I didn't pay more than $160 for all 5 of these, okay? So this one's supposed to be a K-bar, this one's supposed to be a K-bar, these are supposed to be cold steel, and this is supposed to be a Chris Reeves Idaho made. Let's take a look at what we got. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I am going to tell you that this is heavy. It's super large. It probably weighs 1.5 pounds to close to almost 2 pounds. It's got the thumb grip right there to push it out of the Kydex. Big, thick spine, window breaker, whatever. I don't care. You could probably use that to kill animals with. Sunk in, recessed. Decent blade edge there. Hope I don't cut myself. Like I said, super thick spine. Really nice. It's one of those moments where you're like, is this not real? But then there's not a single marking on it. Okay? But every time you type in K-bar, you're going to find something that looks similar to this. If it's not the old military, hoorah, hoorah. Big, thick leather neck. So anyway, that's that. And like I said, found on Amazon at the time under $35. And like I said, sometimes when you look at Amazon, it says Amazon, but if you squint real hard, it says Ali or Temu. Now this one here actually came with the box that said Master Hunter V3. Comes with an old cold steel made in Taiwan. SRK. Doesn't say Master Hunter anywhere. I don't know if it's supposed to or not. I don't have a Master Hunter. This feels decent. Feels good. It's got good traction, everything. I know that that's an older, I believe, you correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I believe that's an older stamping. But when you get into these Taiwan ones, now here, take this the right way, folks. And I actually have this from a very credible source that a lot of the companies overseas, if they don't feel like they got a good contract and they get jammed in where, look at this. It's a decent button. Everything about this feels really decent. I don't know why. This is under $35. It's got everything that the original's gonna have. But they say that they just turn on the factory late at night and they just start using older logos, other things like that to keep from getting in trouble, or say that it was old stock that didn't sell yet, and they just keep going. Now this one here on the ad, it just said outdoor survival camping, didn't even have a logo or a brand. But as you can tell, that's the same knife we were just looking at. But not a single brand on there, not a single thing to tell you who made it. Feels exactly the same. Looks almost exactly the same. Almost exact. Yeah, it's the same. Just a smaller one. And that doesn't have any click like you'd expect a cold steel to have. So maybe that's why it ended up on the floor at under $25. This one here, folks, this is, I kind of hate to say it. This is a very nice knife. It's got a nice sheath, which turns sideways so you can keep it in your belt all slasher, killer style. And this is supposed to be a K-bar. Attaboy. What are you going to do to it now? Look at that blade. Got it on Amazon, just like the rest. And this is the second one of these I got. I got one of these off of AliExpress. Looks identical. You couldn't tell it apart. Then I got this one, shows up. Now, the backpacker from Chris Reeves is $300. Now, I'm not even going to lie to you. That is one sharp edge. But most of your really expensive $300 knife blades all has some dramatic edge that goes all the way up there. That's just some teeny tiny. Looks like you might have ran it through a knife sharpener that you buy at Trader Joe's or something. Again, looks exactly like the backpacker. Exactly. I don't have $300, folks, to spend on a backpacker. All these right here, like I said, cost less than $160. So we do what we do, right? Okay. Let me turn this thing around and we'll have a little conversation, okay? Okay, so folks, let's wrap this up. What do we know here? We took a look at some knives, 5 of them that I got off of Amazon, and I knew they were all questionable to begin with because of the price that I paid. Now, what we find out here is that if you buy something from Amazon, just because you bought it from Amazon does not give you the guarantee, just because it's under the umbrella of Amazon, that it is a real product. I mean, yes, it's a real knife. I got real knives showed up, but they all look like a knife that demands a higher price point. So what do I say to that? I say, well, kind of shame on Amazon, but at the same time, free trade, blah, blah, blah. I believe that a company should be able to do whatever it wants, and I shouldn't be able to shame them. But at the same time, I don't really promote spending budgetary money on something that could be used to save your life. Now, on an EDC carry, come on, guy. Every company makes EDC carry knives that are within a decent budget. Everybody can carry a knife that'll be on their hip or wherever they carry it, where they know that it's going to work when they need it to. Every company, Gerber, all of them, Benchmade, you name them, they're going to have it. So when it comes to survival or bushcrafting or something where you're going to be out in the wild and you might need it to skin something or gut something or build something or save you in a survival situation, almost everybody makes something that's super affordable. Now, in the case of the Chris Reeves, I don't have $300 to figure out if this, and this is the second one. It just pops up everywhere, you know, looking like this. And being the smallest, I'm not sure if I was supposed to, you know, survive with this or cut steak. But the reputation on this knife is supposedly nice. So we're going to find out if the fake one actually holds up to that. We're going to do the camping video, and I'm going to try and link that together. Hopefully, like I said, if you're watching this video in a few months from now, you'll be able to see the camping video where we put these in their paces. You know, I don't want to drag this out too long, make too long of a video, but some of these are going to last. This one here, I will put it out here right now. I don't know if the edge is going to survive. I think we're going to break that just a little bit. I don't want to break any of these. I don't want to see any of them break. But I do not believe that any of these are going to put me in any harm. So, yeah, that it could be why this one showed up here is because it doesn't lock in all the way. But anyway, folks, this is his dad. Until the next video, remember, hit the like and subscribe, and hopefully one day they'll pay me so I don't have to buy budget crap. But like again, let me know if you've been to Amazon and bought some questionable shit that this can't be. What are we going to do with Amazon, folks? Anyway, put it in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe. And until the next video, don't run with knives. Walk, they're sharp. Keep them away from your eyes. Anyway, I love you. Be kind to each other. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.